Hi, this is Dave and Keith back to do week number 4 of Road to Infinity War with Thor, the original Thor.
Really good movie. Some great performances in this movie, beginning with Tom Hiddleston, who I think his portrayal of Loki has been just incredible all throughout the movies he's been in.
Definitely one of the favorite villains of all time, really, but he's done an excellent job. He's a villain that you can like.
Yeah, he's not all just evil. He has some good sides. He'll help the good guys when it helps him.
Yep.
And whatever benefits him really is how he is, and he does a great job portraying that. I mean, we also had, Chris Hemsworth, first time as Thor, did a good job. Natalie Portman was really good in it. Anthony Hopkins, Jamie Alexander, Sif was really good. I think director Kenneth Branagh really got the most out of these actors for this movie.
I think, they did such a good job. I don't know if this would be a plot point or the cast, but it really made me feel like I could sympathize with the characters. And it's really hard to do with a out of this world type of movie. Like it's not based here on Earth, half of it is. But it just made me feel like I could sympathize with these characters. They did a really good job.
Yep, absolutely.
Plot points. What do you think?
I thought they did a good job with the plot. I think, we talked about Loki's performance in this, and it really highlighted him, having plans upon plans. He sort of double crosses Laufey at the end and kills him, protecting Odin so he can, win the Asgardians' trust and, become their king. Mm-hmm. And he's just, like that throughout the movie. And I also, the beginning, he tricked Thor into basically heading to the Frost Giants' kingdom.
Exactly what I wanted to mention.
He brought the Frost Giants in, and then he pretty much, knowing Thor would have to go to Jotunheim to attack them. It would show his temper and basically his
rash thinking, just
immaturity,
straight to war type of thoughts. And he wants everyone to fear them so that they can, that's a young Thor type of thing. He wants all the power and he wants to show that he's got it.
Yep, and Loki, knowing Odin would not appreciate that, and know he's not ready for leadership, gets Thor banished, and then when Thor is banished, he sees him and basically is telling him, father's dead, mother says you can never return, and basically you can't, because part of the deal with the Frost Giants is you can never return to Asgard. Just compounding, making Thor feel, like he can't return, doesn't know the truth, doesn't know the Warriors 3 are eventually going to come back and find him.
Yep.
And, when they do come back, he still doesn't have the power, but Loki sends the Destroyer armor to kill Thor. He gets his powers back, and then ends up saving the day, stopping Loki at the end. But, really good job of, plot twists and changes, and you really don't know where it's going at all times. They really wrap it up nice. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, and out of all the first original movies, I guess I thought of it as farther down the list, like between Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, and Thor. I always thought Thor was at the there's at the bottom. There's Hulk, and then there's Thor. But I don't know. I put up there with Captain America.
Yeah,
I like it.
I think seeing it again really reminds me how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And now a few other items of note. Thor was wearing the classic Thor helmet from the comics at the beginning. Mm-hmm. I think that's really the only time that he's worn it in the movies. That was kind of nice. Some of the other nods, they said it was Donald Blake, which was his alter ego in the comics for a while. We saw Hawkeye. That was pretty cool. For the first time in the MCU, it was nice seeing Jeremy Renner as Clint Barton. We don't see him again until the Avengers. Stan Lee driving the truck when everyone's trying to pull Mjolnir from its resting place, and he ends up pulling his truck off.
He's awesome. If that theory is right that he's the Watcher, that's just awesome anyway. But it's awesome. He always makes me laugh.
Yeah, his cameos are in all the movies he's in. He really does a great job. Even in like the Defenders series, when he's on the page, it's nice seeing him and everything. It's always nice.
And speaking of making me laugh, if you got one more point.
Yeah, of course.
I in my Thor Ragnarok review, I was talking about how the comedy didn't land, and I just, I thought it was a little more serious for my recollection. But this movie, there's a lot of jokes, and they're all good. They all land like at the end when Thor gets his power back, and he walks up to Coulson and he says, "You son of coal," and that just cracked me up. It's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And, one of the things, Odin early on telling both Thor and Loki they were both born to be kings, kind of foreshadowing to Loki being the heir to the frost giants.
Mm-hmm. That's very subtle, and that you wouldn't have, you probably wouldn't have caught it the first time seeing it.
Yeah, if you went in not knowing Loki's history, you would have no idea until you had seen the movie.
Right.
And then probably one of the big things in the movie, we see Odin's vault, and we see a lot in there. We see the Eye of Agamotto, which is probably fake. We know from Thor Ragnarok that the Infinity Gauntlet was fake,
yep.
that we also see in this movie. So that probably was too, considering the sorcerers on Earth had it. We see the Tablet of Life and Time, which was from the comics, where you can kind of make this elixir to be immortal. We don't know if that's real. The Eternal Flame, which we know from Thor Ragnarok can start Ragnarok. We see Warlock's Eye. So a bunch in there. It looks like, Odin, keeps some things in there for
show.
Yeah, they're
no
not the real
Tesseract.
things. Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. Thanks for watching the Road to Infinity War Thor. If you like what you see, hit like, subscribe, hit the little bell so you can be notified when we have new videos up. And come back next week where we will continue our Road to Infinity War with Captain America, the First Avenger.
Absolutely.
Why have you done this?
To prove to Father that I am the worthy son. When he wakes, I will have saved his life. I will have destroyed that race of monsters, and I will be true heir to the throne.
I will not fight you, brother!
I'm not your brother. I never was.
Okay, and now the post-credit scene for Thor. We see Dr. Selvig kind of being taken into a S.H.I.E.L.D. facility. Nick Fury's there. He opens up the case. You see the Tesseract. And then he says, I forget what he says, but then you see Loki appear, and that's worth a look. And then
Selvig says, that's worth a look, yeah.
Which I think this post-credit scene is different from the ones that have happened so far in the MCU leading up to this. In the sense, it kind of set up two movies. It set up Captain America next by showing the Tesseract, which we all know Red Skull gets in that movie. Mm-hmm. But then it's also setting up the Avengers, because we know Loki comes through, takes Dr. Selvig. Mm-hmm. We know that S.H.I.E.L.D. has the Tesseract. We see in the opening scene of the Avengers. So kind of really set up the next two movies.
And you don't know if Loki is alive or not at that point, because when he fell, you could assume that he's dead,
You could definitely make that assumption.
Yeah.
Dr. Selvig.
So you're the man behind all this? It's quite a labyrinth. I was thinking they're taking me down here to kill me.
I've been hearing about the New Mexico situation. Your work has impressed a lot of people who are much smarter than I am.
I have a lot to work with. The Foster theory, a gateway to another dimension. It's unprecedented. Isn't it?
Legend tells us one thing, history another. But every now and then we find something that belongs to both. Power, Doctor. If we can figure out how to tap it, maybe unlimited power.
Well, I guess that's worth a look.
Well, I guess that's worth a look.